Hello everyone, I'm a YouTuber, the MKninja. If you've never been on my channel before, then I'm going to tell you this is not typically the kind of video that I do. Generally the things that I do are more entertainment based, whether they be a gameplay video or a review about maybe anime, video games, movies, whatever. But I generally don't try to get too super personal with my videos. The most I've ever delved into this is a video about things people say about millennials and why I think that's total BS, and it's personal to me because I'm a millennial and I've heard these things before, so I made that video to kind of just vent a little bit and talk about it. So I recently come into kind of a realization, and before I say this realization, I have a few things I want to say as kind of a preface. I am not asking for any sympathy. When I say my problem, I'm not trying to say that your problems are not as important, or I need focus or attention, or uh, oh, this is a huge problem and I'm suffering so much more than people who are starving or being killed or all the other atrocities happening in our world. I'm not trying to undermine any issues that anyone else is having or try to blow up the issue that I'm having. I am just saying this to try and not only vent, but also to help anyone who is going through a similar situation. And to anyone who knows me, you do not need to respond to this. I know that when I say what I'm going to say, a lot of people will write comments trying to build me up, and even though I will appreciate that, if you do it, you don't need to feel obligated to do so. I'm fine. You don't need to worry about it. I've kind of realized recently that I might have a very, very, very minor form of kind of like a branch of depression. Not saying like, oh, I'm depressed, pay attention to me. No, I just, in my head, I kind of have these three words that go off at several periods of my life that kind of hold me back a little bit. And these three words are, I'm not good enough. I'm a pretty ambitious person. I am writing a book. I'm running a YouTube channel. I'm trying to become a marine biologist. And I generally run into hurdles a lot. And I know that's a part of life. You run into hurdles. But I have these thoughts in my head where I fail so much that I just think I'm not good enough. I'm not destined to do this. I'm destined to fail. And I know I'm clearly not the only person to have these thoughts. There are definitely plenty of people out there who think the same thing. And this is a message to those people or any friends of someone who knows those people. So if you are that person or you know someone who is that person, this might be pretty important. Now, normally, if you tell someone, oh, I'm not good enough or I have these thoughts, their first response will be, you are good enough. And that's not enough. I know this mentality. I've been told I'm good enough. And it's not enough. I'm not, like, disregarding this obvious kind gesture that someone's making. I'm not saying, oh, fuck you for trying to build me up. No, I appreciate it, but it's not enough to try and lift you out of that mentality by saying, oh, you are good enough. Because it's a deep-rooted idea that can't be solved with just a few words. That's depression. That's psychological issues. These are serious things. So the first thing is find someone to talk to, whether they be a family member, a friend, someone online, or maybe multiple people. But be very careful about who you talk to, because there are plenty of people in the world that have an old-fashioned mentality of sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And that is BS, because words can be very damaging, whether they come from someone else or whether they come from your own head. So just be very careful about who you open up to, because if you open up to the wrong person, it can backfire very badly. So look out for that. The second thing is try and get a hobby. What I do is I make videos, I play video games, I write, I do all of these things. Find something that you are good at and you can succeed at to try and lift you up during bad moments. And I can say from experience that this can help more effectively than how someone would think. Like, oh, just get a hobby? That's not going to help me. I'm depressed. Well, some people will call it a distraction, but it's kind of like an aid, if you will. It's helping you realize that there are things that you're good at, whether it be something super minor like playing a video game, and even something super minor to someone who's on just the bottom can be extremely helpful. The smallest gestures can mean a lot. And the third thing is never stop trying. Now, you might think, oh, well, that's obvious. Don't stop trying, because if you give up, then. But trust me, I've been in situations where I'm on top of the world and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep going. And then there are other points where I'm just down at rock bottom and I think, you know what, why even bother? Why get out of bed? Why do anything today? Well, because if you don't do anything, then these thoughts will persist, they will hold you back, and they're not going to go away. Now, that's not to say depression will go away. Depression or any psychological issues that people can have aren't just scars that can heal with words or actions. They're things that will persist and continue throughout the majority or all of your life. It's things you have to live with. You don't just allow it to spread. You don't just put a band-aid on it and be like, there, I'm done. No, you continue to fight it. You continue to go against it. It's a constant battle. And that's why you can't let it get ahead. You can't just not do anything. If you do something, that's already fighting against it because you're succeeding at something, you're distracting yourself, you're doing something with your life. So if you know someone who is going through this situation, or you are someone who is going through this situation where you constantly think, oh, I'm not good enough, I shouldn't bother, I should just kill myself, talk to someone, whether it be, a suicide hotline, especially if you're suicidal, friends, family, people who will build you up and be there for you during your times of need. Or maybe just someone online, because people online can help you too, because they're probably in similar situations as yourself, so they know where you're coming from and they can offer some very helpful words. Get a hobby. It can distract you and realize that you can succeed at even the minor things, which is always helpful, especially if you're at rock bottom. And never stop trying, because it's a constant battle and you can't give it any leg room. You just can't. You can't allow depression to spread, no matter how minor it is. You can never let anyone tell you that you are not good enough, even yourself. If you know someone who is going through similar situations, show them this video or take the steps here and take the initiative and help them. If you know someone who's depressed, suicidal, anything, help them. Don't just sit there and let time go by and regret not doing anything. Or don't be that person who is depressed and do nothing and regret not doing anything. So yeah, I'm going to end this video by saying, you are good enough. And I really hope you have a wonderful day.